Hello, it is me, Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers, and this is Tuned in Tarot. And we are here to take a look at the balance between the masculine and feminine energy inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find this energy in, we can expect that to be reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to make changes, we do need to shift and change the energy within us to see those changes reflected back to us. So, I haven't done a tune in a while, not because I haven't wanted to or for lack of trying. I really did try. It was not working last week. I don't know why, so hopefully this will work. I'm going to do something a little different today. I have my seed and sickle deck with me, and I have chosen a season that we are leaving behind, and a season that we are currently in, and a season where we are entering. So the seasons of life, if you care about timing and you want this reading to give indications of timing, it can be significant for you for timing, but it's really more about the energy of the season than it is the actual timing of the season. So, where has the connection between masculine and feminine been? What season has it been in? We're seeing the bluebell energy. So, there's a plane flying over right now. I've never gotten this book before. This book, that's so interesting. There's a book on here. This card before. It's number 17 in this deck. We're getting the Dawn guidebook versus the Dusk one because it appeared upright. So this is where we have been, Bluebell. I believe this is the energy of summer. Yes. All right, so the season of life that the connection has recently been in has been the summer. During the summer, the entire world is full of potential. So we've been waiting for that potential, right? The sun is at its highest, the nights are at their shortest, and even in the darkest hours, the air is balmy and clear. The busy growing period of spring is done, and plants are in full bloom, producing the buds and branches that will bear their harvests come fall. All of the preparation for the year ahead is done. But now is the time to use those foundations to make real change. Cards in the summer suit represent exploration, fullness, freedom, and self-acceptance. They are cards of celebration and creation. In the season just gone, you set the direction of your path and chose which roads you would follow. Now is the season to enjoy the journey. So you have been in a time where you were meant to enjoy the journey. You had set a direction from the path of the season before, and you are following that path. Previously laid plans feel like they're starting to fall apart. If you don't stop and mend them now, it's only going to cause issues further down the line. The gummy sap of the bluebell has historically been used in bookbinding and fletching. It's even a natural insecticide, providing an extra protection against damage. Whatever glue you use in this situation, take the time you need to find the correct solution and set things right now, or you'll end up doing the work again in the near future. So that's what you've been doing. You have been looking at the weaknesses in your connection, and you have been doing your best to mend them. So you've been finding the weak spots within you and trying to mend them. And that's the season that you have recently been in. So let's get some information here about masculine and feminine energy in this season. So what has happened in this season, which is crazy. We're seeing the sun card, which is literally this card of summertime. And we're getting the Three of Minuta, or the Three of Pentacles, which we're seeing people working together, collaborating. So this is the feminine energy. This is the masculine energy. So the masculine energy has been exploring inner child wounds, becoming enlightened at how much of an effect the inner child has on his joy and happiness in his current life. That's what he's been working on. He also may have just been playing around a lot, like having a lot of fun and not working that hard, because it was really the feminine energy that was doing a lot of the work this last season. And she was working with other feminines. We see here feminines at different stages of life, maiden, mother, crone energy. So different phases of life, different perspectives, different worldviews of feminine energy, using the knowledge that they had and the work that they've done to work on herself to do the mending that she's needed to do. So this is something that's happened for her in groups, whereas the masculine energy has kind of been out there on his own, and he's been a child exploring versus somebody who is being shown how to do things. So the divine feminine has gone through learning how to tune into her intuition and feelings and work with her feelings, and the masculine has learned the importance of play and recognizing how much the childhood has affected him in his life. So that's the season that just passed. What season are we now in? We're getting Magnolia. This is the dawn energy of Magnolia. So we're in a springtime of our life right now. This is the 8 card. And these are not cards I get frequently. Very interesting that I'm getting cards I don't see often, because this is like new things coming to light for me, especially with that sun card. So Magnolia, the energy that we're currently in, the springtime energy, is the true beginning of our year, a time when the ground thaws and the first shoots of new growth begin to show. So the work that we've been doing, the healing, the mending that we just did during that summer of our life, now that mending is starting to show. With the slowly lengthening days of warm sun and blue skies, it's the ideal time to set a new path for yourself. That may be a new project, a new hobby, or a big change in your life. Perhaps it's even time for a new outlook entirely after winter has held everything in stasis. Cards in the spring suit represent new beginnings, fresh starts, and the laying down of plans. They are transitional cards symbolizing the change from the dark, dormant months into a state of awakening and renewal. Fossils of magnolia trees have been found to date back as far as 100 million years ago, practically unchanged from how they are today. They even predate bees, evolving alongside pollinating beetles. The gentle dignity of these trees displays a stability and grace throughout the ever-shifting ages, something we can all afford to learn from. Even if it feels as though the world about you is constantly changing, draw on the magnolia's quiet endurance and persevere. The time will be right for you again soon, okay? So that's the current energy. It's time for that change to happen, that you started on that journey of discovering what you needed to know about what filled you with joy, what kind of projects you wanted to work on, what things that needed mending from childhood. Now you're making those changes and you're starting to see the first signs of growth. So what does that mean for the masculine energy? We're actually seeing this really positive 10 of Pentacles energy, and for the feminine, also positive, the Chariot energy. So for the masculine energy, we're seeing that he is finally starting to see how his what his legacy will be like, how his wealth and abundance, he's starting to see how it can grow, how stable it can be. He's starting to recognize and appreciate all he has around him. Family is very significant right now for this masculine energy. For the feminine energy, we're seeing movement and releasing control over outcome. Releasing control means we're accepting that what we desire to happen will happen. We are confident that just our desire for it is what will ensure that it occurs for us. And we don't need to do anything to make it happen. We know that it's just going to, and we just need to surrender to the natural flow of what's coming. The Chariot is about making forward motion and doing it in a balanced way. So you're not led by your head or fully led by your heart, but by the constant balance or interplay of those two parts of self. So moving into the most bountiful phases of our lives is that drastic change that we basically have to surrender to. And what season are we headed for? We're seeing 21 here. And Rowan. And I believe that this is late summer. Yeah, I think it is. Midsummer. Yeah, it's summer energy. So now we're entering again into a summer of our life, but our focus is different. Whereas the last one was on mending, this one says rowan trees are seen as a symbol of tenacity, capable of growing in the tiniest crevices in cliff sides and rocks. You've been doing a lot of the same recently, growing well in spite of the uncertain ground you stand on. And your determination will pay off once you realize you've got an advantage over those who've had an easier path. It's easy to envy others for thriving, but give yourself credit for having thrived in adversity. So that's really interesting. So now the focus is, instead of on mending, it's on embracing that you've done so much with very little, and that makes what you've gained even more significant. And it's very interesting because the masculine is heading towards complete clarity over the wounds of his heart space. We have this 3 of Swords. This is direct communication. This is being able to see clearly what caused pain and suffering in his life, and to declare a new reality. And the divine feminine, we're seeing the Death card. And this is so significant because we have to completely let something die to be able to transform and be reborn to a new life. And this is basically recognizing that despite the pain and suffering that you have experienced on your journey, you've managed to be reborn, to create a new life, to have new desires, to release the old ones and start fresh and start new. There's rosaries in those images. There is masculine energy that has passed away. And this could literally be about abandonment wounds. This could be about recognizing that you faced death early in life, maybe of a father figure, some kind of a guide or a parent of some kind. You faced that early on. It could be a grandparent. And it was a devastating experience, and it put a wedge in your heart. It put a wound in your heart that made it difficult for you to make healthy decisions around receiving love, being open to love, and experiencing the life that you desired. And finally processing that pain and that loss of the feelings of abandonment, the wounds, almost letting it kill you, is helping you to finally be reborn and imagine a life without those experiences being the definitive moments of your life, and imagining something completely new for yourself, which is an incredible energy. So I'm going to close out this reading with something that you really need to keep in mind, and some hidden assistance that you're not aware of right now. That's like something you can't see but is really helping you. The first image we have, and I thought this is cool because I'm using my oldest tarot deck and my newest tarot deck. This is my OG original Rider Smith-Waite tarot deck I bought from Crazy Wisdom in Ann Arbor before my son was born, so probably 18 years ago, 19 years ago. And this is my brand new pasta tarot that I just received as a birthday gift yesterday. So I love that we've got the oldest and the newest energy here. So something you need to keep in mind, this is the masculine energy here in the Smith-Waite deck, and with the King of Pentacles, and the feminine with the 6 of Rapena, or the 6 of Cups. This is the stuffed pasta. And what you really need to keep in mind is that all of the experiences of your past have shaped your future, have shaped your ability to tap into the abundance that's there, to the prosperity, to the wealth, to the recognition. This is all about giving yourself credit, like the Rowan card said, giving yourself credit for having blossomed in adversity. Your past has truly shaped you, and it's something to be proud of. It's something to look back on and see yourself as worthy of all of the good things in life, worthy of those things. You've basically created this storehouse of amazing things, and you are worthy to receive it. You also may have a grandfather energy coming through here, or a grandparent or grandmother. I'm feeling grandfather strongly because of this image in the death card, or a father figure, or just a God the Father energy, if the patriarchal image of the fathering energy, the guide. But there is somebody significant to you that has shaped you and your past. And in some cases, it can be religious trauma, in the God the Father type energy, or it can be a positive way. Somebody who really valued you and kind of taught you how to value yourself. And they are within you, and you need to remember that you carry that energy within you. Something that you don't see is hidden assistance for you right now is this Queen of Cups energy and the Queen of Minuta, or the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Cups is the heart. This is the sensitive, psychic energy. This is love and compassion. It's navigating emotions and emotional mastery. It's knowing when to keep a lid on your emotions and when to let them out. The Queen of Pentacles is the counterpart to the King of Pentacles. And so this is the match to your energy. This is having the likelihood of having somebody who is really like you and can appreciate the qualities about yourself that you appreciate about yourself, and vice versa. And this is the nurturing side of self. Both of these energies really represent like the mothering energy in the tarot. Both of these energies are the loving, nurturing mom feels cards. You know, the Queen of Swords she's a very practical, pragmatic type of a mothering energy. The Queen of Wands is fiery, confident. She's kind of self-absorbed to a certain extent. But these two queens are the nurturers, the caregivers in the deck. And both of them are extraordinarily gifted at doing this for themselves, taking care of themselves, mothering themselves, nurturing themselves. Because you have to be good at that in order to really be a good caregiver for others. You can be a good caregiver for others without doing that for yourself for many years, but eventually you will burn out, and you will lose that momentum that you have as a caregiver. So really making sure that you receive that nurturing from the self. That is your hidden assistance. And let me give you a self-care activity to do this week. And I will close this reading out. A self-care activity for you to do this week. Self-care activity. Make an altar. So if you don't already have an altar, find a private space, clear off a corner of your desk or your nightstand by your bed, or somewhere private, somewhere in your house that is a little off to the side. You can do this outside as well. And just arrange a few little objects to help you be mindful of that place. And there's many really great ways to make an altar. I just received this book as a gift, the Book of Kitchen Witchery, and the whole first chapter is on altars. I loved it. So if you want a good reference for creating magical space, the first chapter of this book is so good. It's called The Kitchen Altar. But it's not just about kitchen altars, so I found that really helpful. You might be able to grab that at a library. If you want advice or help in any way on your journey, that's more personal, please let me know. You can find me tunedintarot.com. There's many ways to get in touch with me, many services you can book with me. I have started recently working one-on-one with people. Not recently, I've been doing that for a while, but I've been focusing on working one-on-one. So I'm less interested in the one-off readings as I am working one-on-one with you. You can see my hourly rate at the link in my profile for one-to-one sessions. But just keep in mind that if you decide to work with me on a weekly basis, you can set your own price for the hourly sessions. Whatever you are comfortable with, I will accept, because my main goal is just for you to be able to see consistent growth and then move on and be able to do these things yourself. So I think the best way to do that is to work one-on-one with somebody, find all the things that you need support in, get that support, start learning how to give it to yourself, where to find it, to ask for it when you need it, and then fly out of the nest on your own. And like a couple of months. Doesn't have to be like working with me forever, but definitely consider it. And I will see you on my next live. I'm gonna start hosting a live stream from my Snip feed site. That's going to have tickets, and though if you're a member, you can come automatically. I will be doing free readings at those sessions. If you're not a member, it'll only cost a few dollars for a ticket, or you can just become a member for $5 a month and be able to attend those whenever those are happening. And they will be consistent. They will occur at the same time every week, unless there is some emergency, but I am going to pick a consistent time for those so you can count on those sessions for members only. So keep your eyes peeled for that and for the new things that are coming down the pipeline as I get organized about them. Thanks, everybody. Have the best day. Take care.